two major footballing tournaments, world footballing tournaments, going on at the exact same time. One's moved on a little bit further because it started earlier, and that is the Copa America, which we have had the privilege of going to a couple of games, and my God, the atmosphere is electric, talking about the Mexican games, but also many of the other games are gathering a large crowd as well. So it poses a question. Many people have asked it. They've asked me it on Twitter, they've asked Jason it, and we thought we'd do a clip to answer that question. So as you can see, what is the better tournament? Is it the Euros or is it the Copa America? So on one hand, we have the Copa America Centenario going on right here in the good old US with Argentina just seeming to pack a heavy punch this year. Chile obviously won it last year. They are plagued with talent in that team. Brazil went out early. A lot of the big dogs in world football are here to play. We didn't get to see Suarez, unfortunately, and that hence part of the reasons why Uruguay crashed out. But we see dark horses emerge. We see the USA playing pretty well. We see Mexico now just undefeated for a ridiculous amount of games, going off the back of a Chicharito goal-scoring spree. And then on the other side, Jason, we have the Euros that's going on with a lot of the world's best footballers. And simply put, they have the bigger sample size to choose from. A lot of the most known world footballers happen to come from Europe. Yes, Copa America has Messi, but if you're looking at, I would say collectively all of the squads, you're going to have the most known players coming from Europe. But that doesn't take away from the quality, because I think there's two different playing styles, which I'm going to get into. But I want to ask Jason, first of all, simple answer and give me your reasoning.
I can't give you a simple answer.
But give me a complex answer.
I can give you a complex answer. While I believe that Copa America's style of football is far more fun to watch than European style of football, I think the Euros have a larger magnitude, and I think part of that is coming from is scheduling of games and ratings, right? Copa America, unfortunately for the parts of the world that are truly the most interested in football, and I don't want to take anything away from South America, I know how diehard of a fan base there is for Argentina and Chile and Venezuela and Ecuador. It's insane. Peru, all those places. Brazil, of course. However, Europe is a footballing capital, you know, and especially here in the United States, at least Americans look to the English Premier League before they look to La Liga for the most part. Copa America games start at 7, 8, 9 o'clock at night here, 7, 5, 6, 7, 8, which means that people in Europe aren't going to really wake up at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. Some do. The diehards, of course, will. The same as those in South America will wake up early to watch some of the Euros, but the ratings alone, you can see it at who's watching what, and that includes the new age ratings with how you can stream it online and the packages for like here it's like a Watch ESPN. I'm sure it's like a Watch Sky Sports Pass, right? It's a bigger magnitude. I feel like there's more on the line for the European countries in the tournament compared to Copa America, and that's just the observational view I have.
Yeah. I want to break it into three categories where I think that one will reign superior over the other, right? So it is the ratings, Jason. It is the draw. And I think that the Euros, simply put, have the bigger draw. South America is one of the footballing capitals of the world as well. It's not of the same magnitude as Europe, and that just goes down to the competition that Europeans are able to watch week in, week out with all of their other leagues. Now, South American footballing leagues are competitive, but you don't have the Champions League. And you've tried. There's been competitions out there that are competitive enough, but it wouldn't draw in the audience from Europe, whereas there is no doubt you see Barcelona and Real Madrid jerseys plastered all over the Americas, plastered all over the United States as well. And that's because the Champions League is the biggest draw. And what does the Champions League have in common with the Euros? It's in Europe. And that's where most of the teams and all of those players will play, minus some of the major ones.
Even though a lot of the
best players are South American footballers.
Yeah, I was going to say
Messi, Suarez, but their name
their
name isn't Europe. Bayern Munich, Germany. It's a lot of the bigger players as a whole collectively are going to play in the Euros.
If you look at it just geographically, and I'm not taking any shots at Southern. I want to make sure I'm very clear about that. Europe is a bigger draw, is I think what you're alluding to. London and Bayern, you just said, outside of Rio, I'm not sure what city in South America has that kind of draw.
Yeah, and so that's the first one that I think you give round one to Europe, right? Round two is, I think, it goes down to the overall competitiveness of the competition. So I think the Copa America, for me, is more enjoyable to watch game by game.
Yeah, I think it's
I love the game, faster style, more goals, great football and show. I would say less tactically inclined and more instinctively inclined. And what I mean by that is players are working on instinct. You get solo goals like we just seen in Mexico. It was a Messi-esque finish, and that was beautiful to watch. And that leads into my next point, Jason, is that
So who wins?
overall competitiveness, Euros is still going to win. Why? Because there's a filtering mechanism that's put in place. You have to qualify for the Euros. That's why countries like Scotland are not in the Euros. It doesn't weed out all of the poor teams. Russia are poor at the moment. Sweden are poor. Albania, poor team. Some of them are not the prettiest teams to watch. But what will we get when we get to the latter stages is it will happen that you'll weed out the Heiris of the competition. You'll weed out the Panamas of the competition. And then the final one, which again is very hard to differentiate, which I mentioned as well, is the players that's on show. And the players that draw in this mass audience. So you've got the draw-in for the competition, and you've got the, I would say, the overall competitiveness, and the players that come in, which I think leads to the style of play. And I think style of play I give to the Copa America. South American footballers, for me, are more enjoyable to watch. They have this, I would say, this arrogance about them that always wants to attack. But either way, you guys are going to have your say. Which tournament do you think is the best tournament going on at the moment, or is the best tournament collectively overall? Is it the Euros? Is it the Copas? Is it Francis? Is it Jason? Hit us in the comment section below. Francis_Maxwell on Twitter, Jason Rubin91 on Twitter. Both of us are on Instagram. A lot of outfit of the day posts, a lot of selfies. Jason Rubin91, and I'm not lucky enough to have the same go-to. So I'm Francis Maxwell Host on Instagram and TYT Sports on all of it. And we'll catch you guys soon.